Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to the Medium's Table. I'm your host, Michelle Gardner. This podcast is your personal invitation to join me at the intersection of the everyday and the extraordinary. Together, we'll explore the magic of mediumship, share spiritual stories, and connect with fellow mediums on this incredible journey. So grab a seat, pour yourself a cuppa, and come join us at the Medium's Table, where spirits gather and stories unfold. Disclaimer, just a heads up to all our lovely followers. Our social media is a space where we share personal stories, including those of various mediums. Let's keep the vibe positive and respect each other's beliefs. Every journey is unique, and here we celebrate the diversity of experiences. I'd like to welcome back to the show for her monthly segment of messages the world needs now, Julie.
Hi.
Welcome back to the show, Julie.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Yes, it's always great to see you every month. And we never know what's going to happen. But firstly, before we get into anything, tell me about Penhurst. Paracon.
Penhurst was wonderful. It was warm. We finally had warm weather here in Pennsylvania, and the sun was shining, which was also some kind of anomaly. And Penhurst looks beautiful under those settings. Like the sky was so blue with these white puffy clouds, and then these, buildings that are just massive, and some are like different, damages to the building. And the crowd was amazing.
Yeah.
The other vendors, there were celebrities everywhere. I hardly got out of my booth, but the thing I'm going to tell you was the first. So we set up on Thursday because it's kind of a difficult place to get entry and exit. Like once the vendors are there, we kind of can't leave, right? One road in, one road out, So we set up on Thursday because it's not far from my house, and I put up my easy up that only takes 3 people to put up, and it's a heavy one, and I put the weights on it, and I dropped it and put my things underneath it so that we should be good to show up on Saturday. And when I showed up on Saturday, my easy up was entirely closed up. So I don't know. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Totally collapsed. And the telescoping legs also collapsed, and it was tossed to the side of my booth. But the weights were still in their place. So I think that was my little greeting from my friends there. We'll blame the doll, is what someone said.
Oh, yes. So this was Paracon, where a whole heap of paranormal people,
yes,
tribesmen and women, will say, get together and have a big, it's like stalls, like you did readings there. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I did readings, yeah.
Yes. And they, to walk you through a lot of paranormal stuff. I mean, I wasn't there because I live in Australia, but we talked about it last month. And Annabelle, the doll from The Conjuring, was going to be there. But I'm going to say this. That doesn't surprise me that happened to you, Julie, because just weird stuff is attracted to you. You are a magnet for it.
It's true. Well, see, the year before last, we were in a different part and right next to a paved area. And I think I was finishing up like my last reading, and some vendors had left. And this one tent, which, they were all in a row, and it was like the one in the middle, it was dragged out and spun around on that blacktop area. It was just dragged out. Like there's no wind that can drag out just one tent, right? Like,
yeah.
And it was against a building. So it wasn't like it just shifted into the next space. It was pulled out from against the building and then was like spun around as if someone had grabbed it by one of the legs, and just dragged it out and was, running around with it.
Wow.
Yes. And there's no wind that does that. We were all there. We watched it and we put it back because those vendors had already left for the day. And in the morning, like, we told them, right? Like, and they were like, oh, I wondered why, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't the way they had left it, of course, because things got, knocked over and stuff. And yeah, so then this year it must have been me. Like, I
Yeah, it's
don't
your turn.
understand. Well, and again, we were in a row of tents. So if, yeah, it just couldn't happen that way. It's
Yeah.
just, you know,
And so fitting for the fact that it was Paracon and then this happens. I
yes.
love that because it's almost like the evidence before it even started.
Yes. Well, and that day, oh my gosh, that day my alarm didn't go off. I left my cooler packed full of food in the kitchen. I mean,
Oh
it was
no.
just, and then I got there and I had no tent. I was like, really? Like,
But I saw photos and it looked like it was a really great weekend. Really great
well,
weekend.
it was a
Yeah.
great weekend.
So have you
Great
got
weekend.
anything else coming up? Because I know you do a lot of these Renaissance fairs, and I get so fascinated with this because, as far as I'm aware, we don't have this kind of thing here, and if we do, I have never ever heard of it. And so, when you mention this, I'm like, what is that? What do you do there? How long does this go for? What?
Right. Right. Well, that's a full, actually, they may have some things starting on Friday already. They do some overnight investigations. There are some investigations with celebrities. So there are other things going on that I would just be too exhausted to participate. But there are tours of the facilities and access. There were access to buildings that were not open before, which is really exciting because it's not the same place. I mean, every time
Yeah,
you go, it'll be a little bit different, of course, but um,
yeah,
whole buildings that were not opened or accessed before.
wow. And they're just
So,
left sort of derelict, aren't they? No one maintains the building.
well, they are maintaining the buildings. They had been abandoned, and I actually had overheard someone at Paracon talking about how she had lived in the area and she went to a local university and she said, "Well, you weren't a college student if you didn't come here when it was abandoned." Like that that was a thing that people did, because it was a big abandoned, huge buildings. The buildings are brick and 3 stories tall, but like warehouse size. I mean, there's just so
Yeah,
many of them, and there are some that are already underground that were torn down immediately because they were dangerous. So the ones that they have always been using, they have made upgrades to. They have electricity in, and um, they have to be safe to be able to go into.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
but in that they don't necessarily, like, the heat's not on, you know,
yeah,
and the paint's still peeling and the windows, when you're doing investigations, you want to make sure that the wind isn't causing whatever you're seeing. So in some places there are broken windows that are just,
yeah,
the wind will just go right through the building, but not all of them. There's a tunnel system underneath Penhurst because they did their own laundry. In fact, they developed a laundry business where the people who lived there, they actually took in laundry, I think, from other places, and that was part of their industry, was doing the laundry service. And the tunnel system, you could go from one building to another through the tunnels.
wow.
Really big tunnels. Yeah. Yeah.
So is there a lot of evidence there of them being haunted? Like, do they pick up a lot of paranormal activity?
Yes.
Oh,
There-
really?
There's lots of paranormal activity. There are some
Oh,
stories that are very consistent. Um, there's one building, Devon, which is kind of their main, I mean, I guess I would call it their main building because it's the one that is always open. That's where they have like their museum store, and they are putting in and have had a museum of things that they collect as they clean up, the sites. And every time I'm in that building, I get a headache. I get attacked by something in there.
Wow. And for
Yeah.
those who are watching and listening who don't know what Penhurst is, do you want to just give a brief rundown of what happened there?
Sure. Yes. So Penhurst is in Spring City, Pennsylvania. And um, Pennsylvania had a system of, they called them state schools and state hospitals, right? So there were more than one in some counties, and they were for specific ailments. Some were for like tuberculosis, and some were for mental health. And Penhurst was a school, and I don't remember what they called it, but back in I think it opened in the late 1800s. They have these terrible names for things, Um, but it was mostly children, and most of them were mute or couldn't
Mm,
speak for whatever reason. And some of them lived their entire lives there. So parents were actually thought they were doing the right thing by taking their kids there. And they were actually being encouraged by doctors and ministers to do that. And there's proof that excuse me, the institution knew that it wasn't a good place, that in the visit home, the place where they had visits, it was like all perfect, but that wasn't where your child was living, and they didn't see the overcrowding, and they didn't see the abuse and the lack of staff, because they're putting on their best, their
yeah.
best presentation. And it was um it was exposed in 1989, I believe, as what was really happening, and that took the it was a really big deal, you know.
Yeah. That's a long time for it to go, for all of that activity to go undetected, isn't it? A long time.
Yes, yes. and it
Wow.
and and it also, the things that happened there had an impact on our current, like, special education laws, and inclusion, and that those kinds of ideas, because they were just warehousing, people were just warehoused there at that
Wow.
point. And when they're mute and vulnerable like that, they couldn't tell you what was happening, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's very heartbreaking, isn't it, to hear those stories of,
It
the
is.
huge institutions like that.
Right. And it's not, when you're when you're in the paranormal world, or eh, the abandoned industry world, right? Like abandoned, it's a whole complex, it's bigger
Yeah.
than probably most college campuses. Um, you think, oh, it was the Victorian times. Well, it's really only shut down in our lifetime.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there were people, every time I've gone to Penhurst, there have been people who either knew someone who lived there, a family member, um, or work there themselves. In fact,
Wow.
I know someone whose mother-in-law worked there,
Yeah. Jeez.
and was just, the stories, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and I can imagine for some workers it must have been heartbreaking, especially if they were parents of their own, seeing
Yes.
or hearing what was happening. I mean,
Yeah.
I know some may have contributed to it, but for those that weren't and they needed to be there, I mean, hard times, you're raising your own family and you needed to be there. That would have been super hard to hear that,
Yes.
know that, and go there every day. Almost traumatizing, I want to say.
Well, definitely traumatizing for everyone. And some of the the workers were actually very celebrated because they did come, because they were trying, even though, they weren't able to maybe get any help. They weren't necessarily keeping the secrets as well, but they they tried. And it's one of the reasons that I like to ghost hunt is the history and how important it is to keep this story alive, because if we forget, maybe we'll do it again.
Yeah, yeah,
And right now there are places in our world where they're talking about doing similar things, not maybe for the same reason, but warehouses full of people with not enough toilets and not enough beds and no medical care, or not enough medical care.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's important that you visit these places, even if you're not ghost hunting, um, but to hear the history and to understand, because
yeah.
this was not 100 years ago. This was in my lifetime.
Yeah. And I love that twist you just put on ghost hunting there,
Mm,
and that's to keep the stories alive. I love that. It's something that a lot of people don't think about when they hear paranormal investigations or ghost
right.
hunting. So that's a really great perspective. Now, have you got any other fairs or anything else that's coming up?
Yes.
Anything
The
exciting on
next
the calendar?
The next thing, well, in June, I've got a couple things. We've got the New Jersey, the fourth annual Cryptids and Paranormal Conference. It'll be my first year doing that. That's in Princeton.
Ooh. And you'll be
Yeah.
doing readings there?
I'll be doing readings and looking for, listening to cryptid stories. And that's exciting to me because I've had some kind of cryptid experience. Well, I've had paranormal experiences too, I guess, but cryptids are
So
just
so for
interesting.
the average everyday person out there who has no idea what the word cryptid means, are you able to
Mm.
just briefly just sort of explain what that is?
It's like a mythical creature, or presumed to be a mythical creature, like the Loch Ness monster is considered a cryptid. Bigfoot is a cryptid, but
Yeah,
there are local cryptids. Like in Pennsylvania, we have a squonk, which is a very sad pig-like animal that cries when you find him and turns into a puddle.
oh, of course.
Of course. That's what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
there are stories of the Mothman, the Jersey Devil. There's just, and they're kind of local folklore,
yeah,
but there's some thread of, credibility, and people, again, know people who've had the experience. So, go out in the woods and camp and see if you can conjure up one of these guys. Although I'll be in
yeah,
New Jersey at a cryptid fest gathering, see how many show up for us. I don't know.
yeah. But isn't it interesting when you look at the other side of life? A lot of people don't even know that these things exist or that this is happening. And out there in the world, there are gatherings where people come together for these kind of, like you say, local legends to talk about them
Yes.
and have whole, like little festivals around them. I just, it's just so fascinating. But I love that people have found their own tribe, so to speak. Do you know what I mean? Around
Yes.
this, who,
Yes.
like you say, have also had experiences or, some kind of, or heard or some sort of phenomena about it. I think it's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
It brings, I don't want to say the magic because it sounds pretty scary actually, but it kind of brings a whole new dimensional perspective to life, doesn't it?
It does, and it makes things a little bit magical.
Yeah,
And if
in
you're
a
open to
weird
that,
way.
but when you're open to that, you'll have those experiences.
Yeah, yeah. Because who doesn't want to see a squonk? Anyway, everyone's going to go out and check their pigs now, all the farmers. Do I really have one? Where did that puddle come from?
And why are they crying? I don't know.
Exactly.
It's such a sad example of you could have so many mythical creatures and,
Yeah.
unicorns and these things. And well, there's that pig that cries and disappears.
I mean, everyone needs to experience that at least once in their lifetime.
If we were talking superheroes instead, right? Like, well, there's that.
Yeah. Exactly. But these are the sort of things that are out there that you can attend, open to the public, go along, have a look, pique your curiosity and check it out. You never know what you'll find.
Yeah.
You never know what you'll learn. I think that's a big
Yes.
one. You never know what you'll learn.
There's so much to learn and to preserve, and if these festivals help to preserve the history like at Penhurst, that's important.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
Actually, in June, they're calling it Ghosts and Gears at Penhurst. It's on a Sunday. It's the 14th, I think, of June, and they're having a car show. And I'll be
Ooh.
there with Mystical Researchers and Investigator Society. And yeah, why not?
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. Why not? Exactly. I love it. And I love that you guys, it sounds like your area does a lot to educate the public and the community around, like you say, these historical sites, but also what goes on there, like you're saying, and the stories are living on so that we don't forget what happened.
Yes.
And for the lives that got so, tragically lost. And I think that's really important for history's sake.
And Penhurst specifically, there was an attempt, and I'm not sure where they're at with it now. I know that people have been protesting because there's an attempt to put in a data center on the same grounds that Penhurst is on. And I don't know if it would get rid of the buildings because there is a lot of acreage there. But I don't know if I would want my data to be maintained at a haunted location because, if they're messing with my tent, imagine what they would do electronically with all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And then their stories would fall away.
Yeah. And people might be like, oh, that doesn't happen. But, everything's energy. Everything is energy. And when you hear the stories and the experiences from some of these paranormal investigators, it's undeniable. There is more going on out there than what you realize or that you may want to know. And that being said, why we're really here.
Unless you do want to know, and then you're right in the middle of it.
Exactly. We're actually really here today for Julie's monthly segment, but I do like to discuss what it is that you're doing out there in the great wide world in your community because it's fascinating and it's interesting. And I'd like to hope that these episodes reach people in your area who might not even know that this is happening. So I think that's very important as well. Brings in tourism and all that sort of thing. So,
oh yeah. In fact, on Saturday, and this was so random, but I'm one person as a vendor. There were hundreds of vendors, maybe 200, I don't know. And I'm reading just the people I'm reading. I have a partner reading other people. There's not that many readings you can do in a day when you look at it, like even back to back. It's, I had 5 people from Michigan who didn't know each other. I'm like, really? Like, what is the trend? Drove in from Michigan the day before. What is the trend? Like,
and is
why?
that far away from where you are or?
Yeah, it was like a 12 or 14-hour drive.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
I was just, it's, how I'm always looking for patterns, and that's one of them. I don't know what it means or why, but, for one person, me, to notice like 5 of my, readings were people from Michigan.
That's good for analytics, though. Do you know what I mean? To see that people are traveling to be there, or if they're there already, they're willing to go.
Sure.
Wow.
Yeah, they were excited to be there. Yep.
So come on, if people can drive that far, there's no excuses. Get in your car. 14 hours later. Come on now.
No sleep, run around.
Exactly. Come on. There's no excuses.
See the doll.
Yeah, exactly. Annabelle, she probably would have been a big draw card, I can imagine.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, well, there you go. So this is the exciting world that Julie lives in. But we're actually here for Messages the World Needs Now, which is
Messages the world needs now.
which is your monthly segment where you go into an altered state and your spirit team come out and they speak beautiful messages and words of wisdom. We never know what it's going to be. We never know who it's going to be. We love the mystery and the element of surprise because that's what it's all about for us.
It is always a surprise. And my intention is that I blend with the spirit that has the message to serve the most, right?
Yeah,
That's the world,
exactly.
which now feels a little intimidating. I can't believe I've been doing this.
Yeah, I know. There's no pressure, Julie. We're here to watch you perform messages for the entire world. No pressure, but
No pressure.
for everybody out there in the world, this is for you. Sorry, Julie. I know you now. It's probably made you nervous, but you'll be fine. I'm sure you'll be fine. This will be the best performance you've ever done, the best channeling session, the most profound. It'll be what we've always wanted to know about mankind.
They're listening, so they're going to have a response to that. But
look, we like
really,
to have a bit
I don't
of fun
do
with
anything.
It.
The beauty of it is I don't do anything. So
yeah, you are the vessel, you are the communicator, the transmitter for the messages, and that's what's important. So
yes.
what will happen is Julie will go into an altered state. You won't see this, and I'll cut this out, especially for the listeners, because it's a whole bunch of empty, dead airspace. And basically we'll say goodbye to Julie and hello to the messengers. And the messages that come through, you will hear very, very shortly. So, with that being said,
Here we go.
I think it's time.
Take it
away, Julie.
Okay. I'm going to have a sip of coffee to help.
Oh, that'll help. Yep. That'll speed things along nicely.
We are grateful for your invitation this day. We are finding so many seeking deeper meaning in their lives and wondering about what else might be available in their universe. There are many, many sources. You understand. For humans, we encourage you to understand the variety of available experiences and sources, resources. Look at your own experiences, dear ones, and allow them to open up to you knowledge and wisdom. Explore those opportunities. Your collective consciousness is decided upon by the popular or most common vibration. This is how you are creating this reality. Now, what most people are not aware of is that it is not necessary to participate in this reality, even though you may understand and function within it. What we mean by this is when you put your attention into the common thread of consciousness, which is currently very fear-based and very manipulated by your technologies and media and government. You feed that reality. And when you have discussions with your friends and neighbors and family, you are all relating and experiencing that same thing, which continues to feed that reality, even as each of you in your heart desire something different. Permit yourself to imagine the different, even as you understand and accept that for this period of time, that may be the reality you are in. Turn off your news feed or your technology and spend time in your garden or a park connecting with your earth. Engage in conversations about what you would like your reality to be, what you would like to see reflected in the collective consciousness. And when you are in these less popular or less understood places, you will find your connections to the oneness and to love. This reality of love is so much better for your human experience. You may create this as your personal reality. You may create this as the place that you live by only allowing in that which you desire. To shield yourself from the fear being projected towards all things. As in your inner knowing, you feel the love and peace and connection to all there is. There are many, many ways and many, many paths for a human to reach this place. There is no one only way. And the place is built within you. The peace is drawn within you. The divinity resides within you. As you make this your practice, you will find that what is permeating your collective is abrasive and undesirable. It then becomes very difficult to function fully in that reality. As you continue to choose peace and love, even if you believe it is only for your own sanity, you are impacting the entire population. As you remove your voice, you remove your energy from the pool of fear, which keeps and intends to keep humanity stuck. It is your divine being, your spiritual self who seeks freedom and love to find your way upon your earth and within your universe. Humans are very aware of this spark and seek it ongoingly throughout many generations and incarnations. The world you are seeing does not have to be the world of tomorrow. It is not necessary to struggle. We find the divine awakening within individuals is becoming a growing force and is changing the light upon your planet as we are permitted to experience through your experiences. We understand that as each individual chooses their divinity and impacts those beside them, even just by living in love, it awakens others. There is no need to do more than that. As you find peace in your own heart, you wish it for your neighbors and you wish it for your family. In this way, your new world will come about, and those who perpetuate fear shall fall from power as they can no longer affect the individuals living in peace. We encourage you, dear ones, to choose the reality you live in, to protect your own personal peace and permit it to grow and affect not just yourselves, but your home and your neighborhood. These connections are very strong and can withstand the influence of the fear that comes from outside of them. We wish you all joyous hearts. We honor your courage and remind you that you are love. We shall see you soon when we are all one.
Welcome back, Julie, and thank you to your team.
Yeah, thank you.
Interesting words. And I think that has given everybody something to truly think about and reflect upon. Very wise words there, I must say, and very fitting for, I don't want to say just this time, because these messages can fall into your news feed at any point in time. I'm going to say these are very wise words for anybody who may be going through a challenge or any kind of struggle in their life. And we'll do a little recap. So for people seeking deeper meaning, and with also about their universe, your experience, knowledge, wisdom, and opportunities, explore these. Explore what is at hand. Explore what it is that interests you, that piques your interest, because there is so much information out there now to gather and sort through. And as we know, once you start going down one garden path, it always leads to 10 others. And you never know where you'll find yourself. Yeah, exactly. They say all roads lead to Rome, but I'm not sure about that when you start on these journeys. Anyway, I haven't got to Rome yet. That's all I can say.
Is it Rome, ROAM, maybe?
Oh, maybe.
I do a lot of roaming, yeah.
I do like that. That.
And I don't really get anywhere, so.
A little bit like walking on the treadmill, hey? Anyway.
I don't know anyone who does that.
I don't either. Who would for hours on end?
What's the point?
Exactly. Collective consciousness, creating your reality. When you put your attention into the common thread of consciousness, you feed the reality on fear-based media and government. So what they're saying is, if you're going to feed into, the common thread at the moment, which might be what's happening on the news, what's happening in politics, fuel prices, the price of food and housing and everything else that goes with it, you're going to feed into that fear. And is that what they want you to do in the big, wide governmental world out there? Well, do we really know? No one really knows. But if you don't like it, switch it off is basically what they're saying.
Yeah.
Even though you desire something different, turn off, disconnect from media. If you're wanting a different outcome in your life, you must do something different. Put your phone down. I know it's addictive, and I know it may now be attached to your hand and your face, but just at least try, okay? Just try. And this is part of disconnecting. And it's amazing how once you do, it's almost like you start to feel lighter. Right. You start to feel that happiness come back, that freedom. I want to say freedom to have your own thoughts.
Freedom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They use the word freedom.
Yeah. So disconnect from media, disconnect from these places and spaces, even if it's neighbors or friends who are talking about it.
Well, and I think that's also influences, right?
Yes.
Like disconnect from the influences.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the common might be the media, but it could be in your personal life, a certain person who's, judgmental or negative or worrisome, and you need to have your own mindset to find your peace. Right.
Yes, exactly. I've always found that time away from, connecting even with others, even for a short amount of time, brings a lot of clarity. You start to then fall back into your own beliefs and what it is that you feel, not taking on what other, that continuous conversation that you might have with your mother, your father, your sister, your friend. And it just becomes, and it's like a vicious cycle.
It is.
Yeah. And the reconnection, as we know, and we say it, but are you doing it? Hold yourself accountable is all I'm saying. Reconnect with your earth.
Yes.
and what you would like to see reflected back to you. Become that
Yes.
mirror image. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This
And then
is
that's how the reality occurs, is the reflection.
yes, 100%. This is where you'll find that this is where you'll find that basically that reconnection to your earth, that which brings you joy and peace, connected to the oneness and love, is more beneficial for you as a human. Of course it is. Fear is not beneficial unless it's keeping you
No.
safe, but feeding into the, and it's a lot of it's hearsay, a lot of it's what someone believes, what they think.
Mhm.
Is it actual truth? Do we really know what's actual truth? Even conversations between two people that are arguing, there's your version, their version, then there's the truth in the middle.
And so often there's so much energy put into what could happen from this and what's becoming and what and
Yes.
and all that energy, and it may never even happen. Something else might happen. Nature
Yeah.
might happen. That maybe, there might be all this energy focused on one city or one event, and then you know what? Nature took care of it. There was a blizzard or a hurricane or
Yeah.
I don't know,
Exactly.
right? Right?
That's it.
Mhm.
Exactly. Let in what you do desire, not what you don't. Many ways to get to this place within. So what they're saying is there's many ways to get to that what you desire. And it starts within. It all resides within you. This is how you connect to your divinity, removing you from the pool of fear which keeps humanity stuck. And I love that stuck word where people feel like,
Mhm.
oh, every day, what's the saying? Same shit, different day. Well,
Mhm.
you know, get off the merry-go-round and go and find something else. But you've got to look within, because if
Yes.
the outside world is feeding you the same rubbish again and again and again, that's not where you should be looking.
Yes.
Yeah. Humans seek love. The world you're seeing does not have to be the world of tomorrow. And I do like that statement. The world you're seeing does not have to be the world of tomorrow.
Mhm.
Anything can change. It starts with us, it
It does.
starts with you. The divine awakening is becoming a growing force. And I would a thousandfold say that that is 100% true, because people are looking for more. They're looking for hope. They're looking for something to believe in.
Well, right. I mean, when your day consists of, getting up and going to work and coming home exhausted, eating whatever you find, right? Like there's no joy in it. That's just existing. That's
Yeah.
not why we're here. That's not our purpose.
Yeah.
And when you're in that place, and I believe we've all been there. I mean, we've all had more on our plate, even good stuff, like when you're going to college and you're going to graduate and you're excited and you get a new job and you're doing the two things at the same time. It's exhausting. And you want all those things, but at the same time, you're not having that connection to yourself because you're so busy.
Yeah. Yeah. And
It's not.
sometimes that looks like self care as well. It can be self care.
Mm,
Take a long
right.
hot bath, read that book you always wanted to start.
Yes.
Just there's so
Yes.
many little things, isn't there? So many little things. And it doesn't have to cost the earth. You don't have to go out to a day spa, and
No.
spend $500 and still walk
No.
away feeling empty and
Yes.
unfulfilled. You might look great, but
Yes. Yes.
on the inside, you're a husk. You're just a husk.
Mhm.
An empty
Right.
shell walking around. Don't be that.
No, you have to feed that joy inside, no matter what your circumstances, what you're facing,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know.
Yeah.
And I
Love.
know that is real. We've all been there, and we've all had our dark night of the soul, which is sometimes a necessity, right? To get
Yeah.
to that place where you're like, this is not what I want.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even if you don't know what you want, you know you don't want that.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
change something different every day if you're trying to find it, and just plant those seeds of joy.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if it's listening to a different radio station on the way to work, something
Right.
that's not the news, listen to something that's all music that you can sing to as loud as you want in the car. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
get a challenge started where if the car next to you isn't looking at you like, what the hell is strangling a cat in that car next to me, you're not singing loud enough. So like, make that a challenge, whatever that may look like or sound like to the neighboring car. But have some fun with it, wherever it
It's
is
true.
that you're traveling to. They're the little things in life where you find joy, the little pockets of joy. Love will grow the community. Fear will have those enforcing it to fall away, which I found that interesting. And I have actually heard that being said on somewhere else that was a more scientific based interview, somewhere else out there on the big wide web, where they have spoken about this. So that's interesting that was mentioned. Choose your reality, protect your own personal peace. And again, it is what you feed yourself is what you become. And yes, that is literal, but also that is also what you feed your mind, what you feed your body, who you surround yourself with, what you surround yourself with, listening, hearing, seeing, all of it.
Agreed.
Yeah. It's like, if you don't like the station, change it. If you want to get somewhere, get off the treadmill. Anyway, that's your
And when you're
lecture
at the
done.
station, you're empowered to change it. Many of us don't realize that. We're just like on autopilot.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
It just takes, you just have to wake up for a couple moments and change it.
Yeah. I actually want to go back to something you just said before, Julie, when you said about dark night of the soul, and like you said, we've all been there. And I would 110% agree with you. And that is how, when you listen to all, particularly because I do this podcast, but all the mediums that come on here, we've all shared a trauma or something that has happened, like you say, a dark night of the soul that has got us to this point here.
Yes.
So if you think I don't know how, there's nothing, I can't. It takes one little step, something different, one little thing in your day, and just start that ball rolling to build momentum every day, something different. Choices.
Agreed.
You have choices. You do. Interesting.
Yep.
Oh, we could go on, and I could continue to lecture, but I won't. But it's so interesting. And I think that, if you're listening to these messages, take the time to listen properly and thoroughly. And how does that apply itself to your life? How can you apply some of that wisdom into your life? How can you bring that in and take that on board? What can you do to change something that's happening for you? And everything is happening for you. What are you learning from your life, from your challenges? And we can never have, we can never have enough. There's, enough peace, enough joy, enough laughter. There always needs to be more. I'm all about the more,
It's
I'm all
true.
about the more.
That's true.
Yeah. Beautiful words. Beautiful, beautiful once again. And thank you so much, Julie, to you and your team. Now, you will be...
pleasure.
Let's just go over that again. You will be at the Cryptids Fair...
Cryptid and Paranormal Convention.
Convention just sounds so big, doesn't it?
Well, that's what a con is, a convention.
Yeah.
So like Paracon is the convention does sound really big and important. So
cool.
important.
If you have advertising, send it to me and I'll put it on the page. So those that are listening, and those that are within a 14-hour drive radius, there's no excuse.
We want to hear from you.
Exactly. fuel up and get over there. Anyway, so this is something that, you'll find out a lot. You'll learn a lot. You'll learn a lot about yourself, and you'll learn a lot about other people out there and what's really going on out there in the world. So, Julie, it's been a pleasure. Where can people find you?
I'm on Facebook and Instagram at Medium at Large, and I have a website, medium-at-large.com.
Excellent. And I will put those in the description below so you can reach out to Julie, because Julie does readings, house readings. She does healing, tarot,
do the things,
mediumship,
investigations. Yep.
Everything. Check out her website, check out her page. You will be astounded by what you'll find. And if you can't find something on there that you want, reach out to her and have a conversation.
Yes. We'll start something new.
Exactly. Here comes a new modality just for you. Oh, Julie, thank you so much. And I look forward to having you back on the show again very soon. To view the show notes, head over to themediumstable.com.au. If you want to watch these episodes, head over to our YouTube channel, The Medium's Table Podcast.